Focusing on winning arguments, we're teaching the basic fundamentals of sales and marketing and how we can use them to win in the world of politics, teaching you how to meet people where they're at on the issues they care about. Welcome to The Brian Nichols Show.
What is up there, folks? Brian Nichols here on The Brian Nichols Show. I am back, and yes, I am your humble host. Looking forward to today's episode. I've missed you, but don't worry. I have some amazing stuff to report from, I've been away. Yeah, where was I? Young Americans for Liberty, Revolution 2022. And by the way, before we get started, I just want to give you a heads up. The revolution is looking good. But first, let's go ahead and give a shout out to today's sponsor. It is the one and only Expat Money Show. Head over to briannicholsshow.com/expat, where you can go join our good buddy, Mikkel Thorup, because he's going to help you protect the money that you worked so hard to earn from ambulance-chasing lawyers, nefarious creditors, and greedy unjust governments over at the Expat Money Show, because our good friend Mikkel Thorup helps people just like you invest internationally, secure second passports and residencies, eliminate your tax bill, and take advantage of offshore structures so you can travel the world freely and never have to worry about money again. And also, he'll be hosting the Expat Money Summit taking place November 7th through November 11th, 5 days, 30 expert speakers, amongst them a keynote, the one and only Ron Paul, who, yes, I just did happen to get the chance to see over at Revolution 2022. It was awesome. I'll talk about that more in a second, but you can get the chance to see Dr. Ron Paul here at the Expat Money Summit for free. Head over to briannicholsshow.com/expat. Get your free tickets today. And yes, you can check out the one and only Dr. Ron Paul live on November 5th through November 7th, 5 days, 30 expert speakers. All right, and folks, let's move forward here, talking about Revolution 2022. And yeah, I'm pumped up, as you can tell, because I just finished 4 awesome days down in Orlando, Florida, and I got to see, first of all, I got to see so many of you, pointing at you here, as you can see here on YouTube, the audience of the Brian Nichols Show. You guys were phenomenal, especially you young Liberty warriors, the 1,000+ of you who joined us down in Orlando, Florida here the past couple of days. It was so exciting to see the energy, not just from the Brian Nichols Show audience, but also just the energy across the board, but specifically you, the audience. I want to just start out saying thank you for stopping by the table. I had a table at the dining hall. For folks who didn't see me there by chance, I was there giving out some bumper stickers, and we had some swag that we had some discount codes for, some awesome new swag, which we're going to show in a little bit. But what an awesome conversation I had with a couple of our listeners here in the show, who I've heard real stories about taking the ideas that we talk about here on the show and bringing it to real people and actually having some real tangible success. That makes my heart just, like the Grinch and the Grinch, how the Grinch Stole Christmas, how it inflates, was it 3 times too large or so? Sure, that was me. And it's not because I have high blood pressure, I swear. But talking about the fact that we are actually seeing not just successes in bringing our ideas that we talk about here in the show to your average person in real life, but that also those people are now starting to join our movement. I had probably 3 or 4 people just in the span of a couple of hours when we had one of our first main days there come up to me and say, yeah, I'm brand new here. I've never really been at the Liberty movement stuff. I've never really learned anything about Liberty. I just got involved, 2020, 2021. I wonder why. And I'll tell you why, because a lot of them were radicalized, just like a lot of you listening here on the Brian Nichols Show over the past few years with the COVID insanity. And that's something that I think, we're going to see more frequently, is that those folks who are starting to ask more questions, they're going to be attending more of these events, and having folks out there like you who did attend the events and are taking what we're doing here at the Brian Nichols Show. You guys are the ones having success. Bring our ideas and actually bring them to your real people and bringing them into real life. And that's what Young Americans for Liberty does, right? One of the things that I talked about, the ideas of Liberty, being in good hands. First of all, the success that y'all is having is just amazing. 270 state legislators elected from Young Americans for Liberty, and they are getting policy into action that's making real impact right now. The concealed carry that took place, I think it was July 1st of this year, that was passed by and led by one of Young Americans for Liberty's endorsed candidates, and entirely because his concealed carry bill went through. That the Greenfield shooting, the mall shooting, that gentleman there stopped that shooting because a few days in after that bill got passed, you had this hero save how many lives, and truly how many lives would have been lost were it not for the fact that we had this guy there ready to defend the mall with his weapon, and only because that bill went through just a few days earlier, and it was thanks to a Young Americans for Liberty legislator. That's huge, guys. So number one, cheers to Young Americans for Liberty, hearing the success stories of policy, but then also just the energy that's in the room and being able to help show folks how to channel that energy effectively. And the speakers there that were able to help show us how to effectively channel that energy. I mean, from day one, you had phenomenal speakers like Spike Cohen, Dave Smith, Glenn Jacobs, Kennedy. Oh my goodness. Ron Paul. Ron Paul was there. And what an amazing energy that Ron Paul, still in his 80s, can bring to a convention of 20 some odd year old kids. It truly just something to behold. And if you get the chance, please, and I'm not being morbid here by any stretch, but we'd only get so many years on this planet. So with our amazing friend there, Dr. Paul, please take it as much advantage as you can with the time we have, and enjoy moments like this, because these moments are truly what gets people like me, I hope other people out there as well, fired up to see that there are so many young folk who are excited to actually get these ideas that we talk about, and frankly, that I would say your average person is asking questions about, but now actually help bridge that in the political world. That's where Young Americans for Liberty has a lot of success. And also, by the way, talking about Young Americans for Liberty Rev 2022, had a great time hosting the Future of Liberty conversation. It was a panel held by the Florida Mises Caucus, and I was asked to moderate that. And it had some great speakers on that. Dave Smith, Spike Cohen, Michael Heiss, Clint Russell, and Hector Ruse. And it was a great panel to discuss that, because you had so many different perspectives, but across the board, everybody agreed. Everybody was on board with the fact that, yeah, we're winning. And we're seeing the fact that we're winning because, number one, we're having conversations and we're controlling conversations in a way we've never been able to do before, specifically by utilizing the alternative forms of media, but also by using more mass forms of media. But you're seeing it across the board from a political standpoint and a cultural standpoint, that the conversations are changing. And frankly, we're winning those conversations. And that's a great prospect for the future of liberty. And then just the overall takeaway across the board from Young Americans for Liberty was that a lot of folks have entered into this movement with some trigger event, right? We talk about this in sales. There's a trigger event that happens where you start either searching for alternatives, or you start you start feeling that there's something that's going to happen, that you're going to start looking for alternatives. And in that trigger event, I'm hearing across the board, whether it was the COVID lockdowns, whether it was the election of Donald Trump, whether it was the January 6th protest. Yeah, I heard that. I promise I did hear that. There were so many folks who said, I left whatever I was to looking at a new way of doing something, whether that's small L libertarian in a big R world, or just a big L libertarian, but trying to use other means of political activism, or trying to bridge all those worlds together. There were folks from all different walks of life who are bringing them their new way of thinking, and frankly, the excitement. The excitement to bring these ideas to other people. It's something I remember back when I first found these ideas, that the desire to go out and just tell everybody. Go tell your mom, go tell your dad, go tell your best friend. And then after you tell a couple hundred folks and you realize that not everybody wants to have this conversation, then you kind of take a step back and you start to reevaluate best means of approach. And you know what? I'm so excited that these folks at Young Americans for Liberty, they're channeling their energy effectively. They're doing the things that are going to be successful, and they're frankly going to have the success they're looking for because they're doing things differently. So my overall takeaway, 2 thumbs up. kudos to the Revolution 2022 team there over at Young Americans for Liberty. You guys did amazing work. I don't know how you do it. It's an incredible event. So much goes into it, logistics of planning. And by the way, if you've never been to the Gaylord over in Orlando, this place is massive, huge complex. I think CPAC's been there in the past. So it's a massive environment. And the Young Americans for Liberty team did a phenomenal job in coordinating things. Any hiccups, they took care of it instantly. I had a little snafu in my room, boom, taken care of in a heartbeat. So shout out to you guys. You guys did an amazing job. So thank you to Young Americans for Liberty, and thank you to everybody who stopped by the table and grabbed one of our Don't Hurt People, Don't Take People stuff, a bumper sticker. If you got one of those bumper stickers, do me a favor. Please take a picture with yourself with the bumper sticker. Go ahead and post it on Twitter, Facebook, wherever it may be. Just give me a tag at B Nichols Liberty. I'll go ahead and maybe I'll send you a little something be there in the mail. I can't promise, but maybe there will be something. But I want to see that first at B Nichols Liberty. And also, by the way, I mentioned over at Rev 2022, we had some premieres of some new stuff over at the Brian Nichols Show shop. And of course, I want to go ahead and share that with you today. So here, let me go ahead and once again, share my screen for you over on the YouTubes. Go ahead and check this out. If you're not over on YouTube, just head over to briannicholsshow.com/shop. And you can check out all of our new swag, including the new Magic Money Tree shirt, which I am so excited about this one. As you can see here, it's for our audio listener. It says the Magic Money Tree. It's a tree. All the leaves are dollar bills, rainbow in the back, and on the front of it, you have our unicorn and our leprechauns with the Fed on the tree itself. Great shirt. Love this shirt. Also, go back up here because we do have a couple other ones as well. There we go. I'll start from the top, by the way. Yeah, so some of our classics, the Trust of the Experts mug, our Fun Students, Not Systems. Got to see our good friend Corey DeAngelis. It was great to see him there as well. Don't Hurt People, Don't Take People Stuff backpack. There's that good old-fashioned Don't Hurt People, Don't Take People Stuff bumper sticker. Zip codes shouldn't determine education. But then going down here we go. Yes, our Meet People Where They're At, Sell Liberty swag. Love this one. Yes, you can. And that's our Sell Liberty flame from our good friend Jeremy Todd there. And my little catchphrase, our Meet People Where They're At. Love this one, our Michael Scott 2024 shirt. Now, if you're a fan of the Office, you of course will appreciate this shirt. And it talks about Michael's 40-day plan as a little catchphrase for his campaign. So I just thought that'd be fun to add to the store, especially if you're a fan of The Office. And then going to our second page here, we have our new Bastiat shirt. The state is the great fiction by which everyone tries to live at the expense of everyone else. Great shirt there. You can go ahead again. All this is available at briannicholsshow.com/shop. We have another, again, our Magic Money Tree shirts, Trust the Expert shirts, more zip codes should determine education. Our Tar and Feather series, Freedom is Science series, Question Everything shirt. I think that's all of it, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a couple more things. Oh, that's right. We have a couple more things that haven't gone up in the shop yet. So anyways, if you're interested in all of that awesome new swag we have over at the Brian Nichols Show shop, well, I have great news for you. You can use REV22. REV22 is your code. Now, I might get in trouble for this, so I'm going to do the good old-fashioned sales thing and ask for forgiveness versus for permission in this case. But this is a code exclusive for Rev 2022, but I'm going to pass it on one more day to you, the listener of the Brian Nichols Show audience. If you use Rev 2022 only for the next 24 hours, you'll go ahead and get 15% off at checkout. That's I think it's 10% more than you usually would get. So yeah, head over to briannicholsshow.com/shop. Use code REV2022, REV22 at checkout and get your discount, 15% applied, and make sure you fill up your drawers with brand new swag. I please include the Magic Money Tree shirt, or at least get that as a gift for someone. It would make a great gift. I'm hearing the expression, by the way, Magic Money Tree, used across the different forms of media, especially with the new proposal that just came out here that went through the Biden Inflation Recovery Act. Strap in, because 87,000 new IRS agents are going to be looking at all of our bank accounts. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Otherwise, folks, that's all I have for you. By the way, I did have a great conversation with Bruce Fenton. He is the cypherpunk stockbroker who's running for the U.S. Senate up in New Hampshire. I interviewed him live at Rev 2022. So I'll make sure I include that episode for you, YouTube watcher, right here below. And otherwise, for the audio listener, all you got to do is head over to briannicholsshow.com /episodes. Yeah, /episodes. There you go. You can find all 555 plus episodes of the Brian Nichols Show, including that episode I had with Bruce Fenton, where you can find, yes, the entire video episode, the entire transcript of that episode. And, oh, by the way, you can find all other 555 episodes right there over at briannicholsshow.com. But with that being said, otherwise, folks, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. I'm tired. I got to catch up on some sleep. Otherwise, that being said, thank you for joining us on today's episode. I'm Brian Nichols signing off. What a great time at Rev 2022. We'll see you tomorrow.